This is Coyote News.
The South Dakota State Jackrabbits stand at 7-2 on the year and are 4-2 in conference play. They're undefeated on the road and are coming off their biggest win of the season, defeating the #1 team in the Missouri Valley, the North Dakota State Bison, 27-19. The University of South Dakota Coyotes are 6-3 on the year and are 4-2 in Missouri Valley play. They're 3-1 at home this year. The Coyotes are coming off of a 42-21 win in Macomb against the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. First, the offensive stats. The Jackrabbits score over 40 points per game, which is a 10 more than the Coyotes average on a weekly basis. SDSU leads the Missouri Valley in not only points, but in yards per game as well, nearing 460 yards per contest compared to USD's 385. Both of these teams like to run the ball and are 3rd and 4th in the conference in rushing yards per game. South Dakota State gains on average 55 more yards through the air than South Dakota per game.
The defensive stats between these two teams are very similar, with the teams ranking side by side in the Missouri Valley in almost every defensive category. Both teams allow 17 points per game, which make them leaders in scoring defense. Yards allowed per game is separated by less than 1 yard, putting SDSU 1 spot ahead of USD, putting them at 3rd and 4th respectively in the conference. On offense, these teams run the ball well, and their defenses stop the run game just as good, with both teams allowing less than 95 yards on the ground per week. That's a stat that only one other team tops in the conference. These two teams find themselves in the middle of the pack with passing yards allowed per game. The Coyotes have a less than 1 yard advantage over the Jacks. The Yotes defense can get to the opposing quarterback as good as any team and find themselves only 2 sacks away from first place in total sacks this year in the Valley. The Jacks take away passing lanes and find themselves 2 interceptions away from first in the conference in that category.